Alright guys, these are your notes for latitude and longitude. You should be filling in on OneNote. The equator is the red line on your screen right there. The equator is located at 0 degrees latitude. The equator divides the Earth into two hemispheres, north and south. And remember, as you're going through this video and taking notes, you can pause whenever you need to fill in the notes. The prime meridian is located at 0 degrees longitude. The prime meridian divides the Earth into two hemispheres, east and west. Latitude measures the degrees of distance from the equator. Okay, so your equator's there in the middle. You're going to have distance north and south of the equator. But the lines run from east to west. They described that really well in the video. Longitude measures the degrees of distance from the prime meridian. So from 0, how far are we east and west? But they run from north to south. Okay, here's a picture of a map for you where we've got the prime meridian, the equator, and we can see the lines, how they intersect. And the way that you'll find things on a map is by first figuring out your north-south and then your east-west, or your east-west and then your north-south. When we are seeing maps with latitude and longitude, it doesn't always have 0 on the map. So this is a very zoomed in map for you. You can see that we only have north and we only have east. So you can have a map that's sectioned off that doesn't always originate with 0. It's important when you're reading maps to focus on this because you need to be able to realize where you're orienting yourself. Okay, another map for you here. Notice it is flat, so it is going to be distorted to some extent. But we have north, south, east, and west here, but there's not a lot of detailed lines. So if you were trying to find something, you would kind of have to approximate. And then this is a more accurate representation because the Earth is round, so when we make it flat, we're going to have distortion. So by curving the lines of latitude and longitude, this is going to give you a more accurate representation. All right, to talk a little bit about maps and globes. Maps are flat representations of the Earth. You can have a physical map, like on the left, that's going to show physical features such as mountains and rivers. You can have a political map, as on the right, that's going to show country borders, states, and sometimes your capitals, your capital cities. Remember, you can pause this if you need to as you're taking notes. Globes are three-dimensional representations of Earth, so they're going to be round, and both globes and maps have lines of latitude and longitude on them. The last thing couple things we're going to look at is a compass rose. That's what you have a picture of there. It's a directional indicator that's on both maps and globes. And our cardinal directions, that's what we call them, are north, south, east, and west. And the intermediate directions are northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. And then the last little bit here is the key or the legend on a map, and it explains what specific symbols and colors on a map represent.